Hey, happy Sunday. Okay, so Sunday Social Security roundup for the week of April 7th unto Saturday, April 13th. Let's have at it. On the 7th, yeah, we did last week's Social Security roundup. Probably be attached on the end here in case you missed and you think there might be something that could be helpful for you. On the 8th, that would be, was that Monday? Because I know one day I had to do it a day late. Was that week or the week before? Don't even know. Okay, so April 8th, this was about, it gets a little tricky. Step 2 of the sequential evaluation process and how your doctor's stated diagnosis is not necessarily enough for you to meet step 2. Really important stuff to know. It doesn't affect everybody because oftentimes the diagnosis is properly articulated, but it's something you might want to know. And interestingly, we see more of this explained in an ALJ denial when they don't take a diagnosis as being a medically determinable impairment. And this is the reasoning how and why and when they won't, in a little nutshell. Okay, so that was April 8th. April 9th. This was about OTRs. OTR stands for on the record review. It's when you're asking for one because you think your case is strong enough on the medical records. And we just go into a little bit about when you might want to consider requesting one. They are not that common, guys, because the theory being, if your medical records were beyond the scope necessary to prevail, you wouldn't need a hearing and you'd get word that they could award you fully favorably without a hearing. I say in theory because I don't know that they get a chance to look that in-depthly at cases well in advance of hearing. They're so busy, they're probably short-staffed. So maybe they can't get to them as soon as they would like to. And by then it's a moot point. But occasionally they are warranted, and we just go into that a little bit. On April 10th, this was something about the big application tip. And it has to do with ignored medical providers and what a problem that can be for you. You can solve that, though. It's very simple. You just have to know about it to do it. That is April 10th. April 11th. This was about the side effects of medications. There was some stuff I was seeing out there that was freaking even my own clients out because they watch YouTube, which is awesome. However, sometimes things are put out there to get people to watch and to make a huff and maybe get attention. I don't know, but there was no change in the rule on the side effects of medications. They remain very important. And the rules of how they are considered are by and large exactly the same. There was no change in the rule. So we go into that. We explain which rule it is that you can go read yourself that has not changed and it's been around for several years now. When a court comes out and discusses a particular rule, it's not necessarily changing it at all. It just happens to apply to this particular case, and they're applying it. So I wanted to put that out there because even some of my clients were saying, "Oh, I heard that have side effects." I'm like, not as far as I know. Let me double check. Double check. Yep, nothing between yesterday and today. No, we're good to go. So anyway, that really goes into that and how yeah, we actually go into the court case, I think, on that one. Okay, so Friday the 12th was the Friday photo review, as always. And this one concerned another Massachusetts person, another female. I just feel like we have a lot of Massachusetts people getting themselves in trouble. Anyway, this is a younger mom, 44 years old, and she steals, looks like over $85,000 from her child. 85, huh? Yeah, we got a lot of those. Usually it's when the child is no longer in her custody and she's not supposed to be caring for the money, and certainly not spending it on herself. But anyway, we go into that. These are all very timely, like in April, which they should be. The OIG puts them out pretty fast. Just a little snapshot of the bad behavior. And Saturday, April 13th, was the 5th and final part to the 6-video, but 5 parts really, explaining the sequential evaluation process. So if you're wanting to know what those 5 steps are and get a basic understanding of each one, this is the 5th one, but I do believe that tagged onto the back side of it is the list of 5. So if you need to refresh on what the 5 are, after listening to step 5, that's something you can do. And I think that last, presumably you can get to step 1 from there too, if you needed to. I hope. Anyway, let me know if not possible, and I'll look into it. All right, guys, that was the week in review. I hope you all had a good week, and I hope you have an even better week coming up. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you next week. Bye. So you just listened to the week's roundup of all 7 days right behind us and what those video tips were. Are you concerned if you didn't necessarily catch the ones from the week prior to that? Don't worry, we're going to attach it right here. Have a great week, guys. Bye. Good morning. Okay, I am here. I'm actually in Stanton, Virginia, working today, doing some business, and we're going to go through the Sunday Social Security roundup for last week. That would be April 1st to April 6th. Let's see. Okay, so of course we did last week's roundup. And that was put out a day late because of my puppy issue. Also on that day, April 1st, so that might be Monday, since I was belated, there was another video. This one was about how in some instances, if you're going to be denied at step 1 of the sequential evaluation process due to working over SGA, it is an example of a kind of work that is over SGA that you can still get it changed to not being SGA based on it being subsidized. And there's a form for that, and we go into that a little bit. That's not going to be most people, by the way, but it does apply to some, so it's worth it for those that it applies to. On the 2nd of April, yeah, and I have to do a follow-up to this because someone asked a question. Can you cancel your SSI? Remember, that's SSI, not SSD, in particular, this particular video. And this discusses what to do, how you can, and touches on the whys. Some people would choose to do that. But a viewer did ask me to really go into some of the whys because she didn't understand. I don't know if she listened to the whole thing, but nonetheless, I will do something about that. And I can go into some of the whys that I know of that people have chosen to cancel SSI. On the 3rd, this is mostly for people who are filing anew and how they can go forward and get a protective filing while they're trying to get all their stuff together to do the full filing. It's all about the protective filing. On the 4th, April 4th, oh yeah, it was about an SSA announcement about they're doing some improvements to the telehelp service phone number that is used largely by representative payees. That would be, there's institutional representative payees, but also mostly family members who handle the SS benefits for their family members, whether it's Social Security, retirement, disability, or SSI. But this telehealth number is also for appointed representatives such as myself. I think they mentioned social workers and advocates, generally speaking. And it's, some of the bad habits some of the phone operators were exhibiting to make their lives easier and not provide such a good service for the people that called in. So that is changing apparently very soon. And I believe that's probably due to the new SSA commissioner. Friday for a law review, of course. This was, so this is Friday, April 5th. Massachusetts mother that steals $60,000 from her child and what went on there. And then Saturday, April 6th, we had step 4 of the 5 steps of the sequential evaluation process. If you go to if you were to watch that, tagged on the end of it, I believe is a short video on all 5 steps. So while the step 4 is going to be in detail here, all the 5 steps are attached at the end. And that is actually a whole separate video as well, if you prefer it that way. But that's just to keep people tied in if they're like, okay, I see step 2, but what was that step 2 again? You're going to see them at the end. Okay, that's it for last week, guys. I think I'm going to be in North Carolina for a day or 2, and then back to Pennsylvania. So anyway, we're doing a lot of traveling. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.